Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. We are going to be doing a Good Girls Guide to Murder series reading vlog. So we're going to read the entire series in this one little vlog. I'm so freaking excited to finally start this series. I've had the first book for a long while, but I've been waiting to get all of the books in paperback before I started the series because I knew it was going to be one that I wouldn't be able to put down and I would want to read the whole entire series back to back to back. So we have all the books and we are ready to start this series. I'm so freaking excited because I just gotten out of a reading slump and I just feel like this is just gonna be really good. I don't typically annotate mystery, thriller, suspense books. I don't know why. I don't know how to. I did do some extensive research, aka went on TikTok and looked how other people annotated this book. So I took some ideas from them and created my own annotation guide, and let's go through it real quick. This pinky tab is romance/relationship. I don't know if it's much in this first book, but I have seen it in the other books, so we're just gonna go with it just in case, who knows. The red tab is for clues and evidence, all that important information that's gonna go towards the case. The yellow tabs are my suspicions / like my theories on what's going on. The gray tab is just random information that I find is important that doesn't necessarily have to go with the case. So not clues and stuff, but just other random important info. This purpley tab is going to be what the fuck / just shocked moments, revelations, it's going to be the good stuff. And then I just have this extra tab, like this one doesn't have anything on it, but if something happens that I want to tab it, that's what the extra tab's for. That is my tabbing system for this book. Let's just get started. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I have no clue what to expect, but I can't wait to read it. Okay, so we got the tabs picked out, like I said. We also have our pens / highlighters picked out. So I think I'm mainly going to use this red pen just because I want a colorful pen. But just in case, I have a black pen, and then we have just a gray highlighter. These are the Zebra Mildliner highlighters. I absolutely love these. They're my favorite to annotate with. And then these are the Papermate Ink Joy gel pens. I absolutely love these pens. I love writing with them. They are literally my favorite. And then we just have some sticky notes just in case I have a bunch more information that I want to write in a certain area and it won't fit on the page. I will have them all linked on my Amazon storefront along with the books in the series, just in case you all want to purchase them and use them yourself. The first thing that I wanted to note just on the first page was that Pip wanted to know why the Singh family still lived there. I mean, that is just a valid question because, like, when something like that happens, you would almost think that, like, the family would want to get far away from that, especially if it was true. And I don't know, it could be true. He could really have killed her and then killed himself. But I feel like there is some doubt just based off of like the summary of the book that maybe he actually didn't do the killing and something else is bigger at large. And that's what I noted. I said, I wonder if his family knows that he didn't do it, or if they just believe that he didn't do it and they're like, there's no way my baby boy could ever do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so I wonder if his family knows. And that's why they choose to stay. Like, why stay when something like that happened? I'm curious to find out. Okay, good. So she doesn't even believe that Sal did it. But I will say in the beginning of this, when it has this little like senior capstone project proposal thing, it literally says that she is to have no contact made with either of the families involved in this case. Yet here she is getting involved with the brother. As in, she went to their house, knocked on the door, and wants to interview the brother. Aren't you not supposed to be doing this? So Andy's body was never found, but they assumed that she's dead already. I mean, like, I guess it makes sense. It's been 5 years. So, like, if she's not dead, then, like, where is she? And the fact that, like, her boyfriend admitted to killing her. So they've accepted it. But, like, they've never found her body. Isn't that kind of a weird coinky-dink? Like, if he admitted to killing her, wouldn't he have said, like, hey, here's the body? Like, right? That would make sense. So why have they still not found the body? I just love that she's, like, not so sure about Sal killing Andy. Because everyone else believes that he did it. And, like, it's just odd. I don't know. The evidence is just odd. I don't know. Just the way things happened is odd to me. So, I can get where she's not wanting to believe that he did it. And is trying to find the real truth. I love how there's sprinkles of, like, her real life, so it's not just the investigation, and yeah, so I'm glad that there's more than just the investigation, and there is sprinkles of, like, what's going on in her life. Obviously that's probably, like, for a reason, but yeah, I really like that. It's the next day. We got to page 132 yesterday, so I read 132 pages in one day, which is really good. I'm really liking it. I know it's gonna be amazing. There might not be a lot of vlog footage today just because I have to go in the office today. Depending on how busy I am or not busy I am, I could possibly finish this today, and then the last two books should be a little quicker to read since I'll be starting on the weekend and I don't really have much going on. It is much later. I'm back home from work. I look a little crazy, but that's just because my hair is nasty and I needed it out of my face. To update you all where I'm in the book, we're on page 238. So I think last night I said I was like 130 something, so I read 100 more pages today while I was at work. We are making some really good progress. Some theories I have is I feel like it keeps switching up on who they think their, like, #1 suspect is, and, like, who they think they could be the killer, that it almost feels like it's none of the people that are on the list. I don't know why it feels like that, but it feels like it's not one of the people on the list. Do I have any theories on who I think it is? No. But some people are suspicious that aren't on the list. And I just think more needs to be investigated about that. I feel like it's a suspect that they either haven't put on the person of interest list or someone that they, like, ruled out. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's any of the people that's already on the list. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. We finished it. I finished it right before 11 o'clock last night. I just needed to give myself the rest of the night to wrap my head around of what happened in this book because it was wild. So I told you all earlier that I believed it was someone that wasn't on the suspect list, the persons of interest list. I said that. I said for some reason there's just too much details about all these other people that it cannot be one of them. And I was correct. It was not anybody that they were like looking at, but expect the unexpected, I will say. Unless you're expecting who it actually is, then expect them. This was definitely a 4-star read. You know how I started my tabbing system? So at the beginning of the book, you can see the tabs, right? Yeah. We stopped tabbing partially because like I knew it wasn't gonna have enough tabs to tab everything I wanted to, and just because it was just easier just to only write in the book. I did annotate throughout the whole book, I just didn't tab. That's what we're just gonna do for the rest of the books. Instead of actually like using a whole like tabbing system, we're just gonna write in the book, write our thoughts, feelings, theories, anything and everything. I highly recommend you read this book. This could be read as a standalone. Like if you only wanted to read this first book, you could, because you find out who is behind the murders. Like you find out everything. So you could definitely read this as a standalone. I would probably recommend reading the series. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm just gonna assume the whole series as a whole is way better. Which, that being said, I did start Good Girl Bad Blood last night. And I say I started, I just read like, I didn't even read chapter 1. There's like some like intro stuff that I read. Like I'm only on page 13. Like we didn't really get far because we were uber tired. But I am excited to read this. I think it's so cool because this first book is supposed to be like a podcast type dealio. Like in the beginning of this, it talks about how Pip is releasing a podcast, or released a podcast called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because that's what this is. And in here, this is not really even a spoiler or anything, it says that 2 people refused for their recordings of their interviews with Pip. They refused for them to be used in the podcast, so she had to like reenact them and just like speak through it, which makes sense because in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, some of the interviews weren't in like the same like interview format as the others. So see how this is like in interview format, it's like transcript of interview. Yeah, that's how most of the interviews were, except for a few. And now it makes sense because the few people that didn't want their interview released and on the podcast were named here. So like it makes sense. I think that was like a really cool detail I noticed. But yeah, we're gonna start this. Hopes that we can finish the series by the end of the weekend. I mean, the first book only took me like 2 days to read, so I feel like the other books will only take me 1 to 2 days. And now that I'm going into the weekend, I think I can even finish it quicker. So I think I can finish this by the end of the weekend, which is exciting because I don't want to take up too much time reading the whole series. So we are back home from work. I didn't read anything while I was at work. So we're still in the same spot that we were before, but that's okay because like I said, I was at work. I mean, some days I'm busy and I don't have the opportunity to read. And I mean, I'm at work, so like I can't be upset about it. But yeah, just got home, changed. I'm wearing the same sweatshirt that I was yesterday because it's cold in my apartment, and why not? I love me a good oversized sweatshirt. But I am laying in my bed and we are just gonna read, and we're gonna read at least until my boyfriend gets home, and then I'll see if he wants to like watch anything or hang out for a little bit before he goes games and I continue to read. So we're only about 90 pages in. This one is a lot slower than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I think that's partially because this is like an active investigation, as in like he's a missing person that she's investigating, and not like a murder that already happened. So I think that's why like everything's happening a little slower. But we're working on it. Sitting on the couch. We got
nice
Criminal Minds reruns on. You can hear the boyfriend playing video games in there. Right in there. He's playing video games. We got Shub on the couch with us.
Phoenix and Brimstone with classics.
Our Chick-fil-A Diet Dr. Pepper. We're the whole move. Just finished chapter 10 and we got some insightful information, or I think so. This one's about one of her best friends, Connor's older brother Jamie, goes missing, and they fear that something happened to him, like he's missing, he's not just MIA for a few, he's like actually missing and something's up. Jamie is best friends, or really good friends with Nat, who was in the first book, that went to school with them and everything, with Andy and Sal and everything. And she has a new little boyfriend, and her new little boyfriend cannot be trusted. He's a total a-hole. The signs that I'm getting is that he's abusive, but he also just is very suspicious, so I do not trust him. Like, could he have gotten Jamie out of the way so that he can have Nat all to himself? I don't know. Could be.
You guys have a man? No, I'm just saying.
Guess we'll have to find out. A new day. It is Sunday. All we've been doing all day is reading. I am almost done with this book, and I just figured out the meaning behind the title, Good Girl, Bad Blood. It's because she overall is a good girl, but she has bad in her when it comes to like lying to protect people and doing things she probably shouldn't do because other people are bad and she wants them to know that they're bad. It's literally taking everything in me not to flip to the back of the book and figure out what happens. I am one of those girlies that will spoil something for myself. Like, I spoil TV shows, movies, books. Like, I spoil everything for myself, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be better. So we're trying not to know anything behind this. We're literally just trying to figure it out when it happens. And it's like killing me because like there's 80 pages left and he's still missing, and I just want to know where he's at. What's up? I need to know. This is stressing me out. I just can't wait to finish it. Like, yeah. No, this makes sense. He's not it. He's not it. Oh, he's not it. Hold on. Let me write my thoughts down. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right about that. Like, I hope I'm right. I just, like, what has this turned into? Like, I don't know what to believe anymore. just finished Good Girl Bad Blood, the second book in the series, and honestly I think this one was better than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I would probably rate this a 4.75 stars. It would have been a 5-star read if it didn't start out so slow. But I think this one was definitely better than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know what it was about this one. Maybe that it was an active, like, ongoing investigation and it wasn't something that happened like years ago. I think that's why I liked it better. This one really kept me on my toes, and I had no clue until like up until the end is when I started like really piecing it together and it all like making sense. So I really liked that. I really love that. Like I didn't guess it. I think before I start this book I am gonna go check on laundry and maybe see if boyfriend wants to go get dinner here soon. I'm starting to get a lot hungry. I think he is too. But I will keep you updated on starting this book. To admit that like I'm not liking this very much. I keep putting it down and would rather like watch TikTok, scroll through Instagram, literally do anything but read. I literally took a nap instead of reading. We are only on page 82. I think she's now about to start investigating her own stalker and trying to figure out who her stalker could be. So I'm hoping now that it's finally starting that it's gonna pick up and I'm gonna start liking it. But it's bothering me that the other two books, it was just like easy for me to like get into, and with this one I'm not getting into it. And I don't know if it's the book or if it's just me right now, but like this one's just, it's slow and boring right now and I'm not the biggest fan. Detective Richard Hawkins. Fuck him. Love that. I mean, like, though, for real, because, like, this is the third time he didn't believe her, and we are back at the same spot, her doing all the investigating. I'm on page 127, and it's finally starting to pick up. We're getting somewhere. It's getting interesting, and I think it just, the slow start is what I didn't like about it, because it happened with the last book as well. It was like a slow start before all the investigating, but now I'm really like intrigued and don't want to put it down, so that's good. I was scared that I was not gonna like the last book, which I saw reviews. I didn't like look at reviews. I just saw on Goodreads that a lot of people rated this one like 5 stars. Like they thought this one was better than the other two. So I'm hoping, not hoping, I was a little like, okay, if everyone's saying this one's like better than the other two, why do I hate it? But I just think it took that beginning boring part where everything was so slow. I just think I had to get through that. It happened with the last book as well. So we're now over that and we're getting into the good stuff. So I'm excited. Definitely won't finish this tonight, considering this is how far I am and that's how much I have left. But we should have it finished by Thursday for sure. I wish I could just like make this my full-time job. Just reading books, vlogging, making videos and different content for you all. If that could be my full-time gig, I'd be a-okay with that. What the fuck? The connections are already starting. Finished it. I finished this while I was at work, so I couldn't update you all. Definitely my favorite book in the series. Holy cow. I'm not going to tell you all about this book, but without like spoiling it. Pip is struggling after all the events that happened in Good Girl Bad Blood, the second book. And this serial killer stalker is back, and this time they're coming after Pip. She's being in some online threads, you know, she's just like, oh, with like the podcast and everything, that's what happens. It was a little more than that, and it became more aggressive. Found out that it was connected to this serial killer who is apparently in prison. She tries to like kind of investigate it, but she also doesn't want to believe that she's being stalked by a serial killer. I knew who the serial killer was. I was piecing it together. I got that part, okay? Like before it was figured out who the serial killer was. But tell me what, we found out who the serial killer is like halfway through the book, right? I was like, okay, we already found out who it is. What is left in the last like 200 pages? Holy crap, a lot happened that I did not expect to happen at the end of this book. Surprised and shocked by the rest of this book. It was so freaking good. I absolutely like ate this shit up. This was definitely a 5-star series. We rated A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book, 4.5 stars. It was amazing. I loved it. Then we rated Good Girl Bad Blood, the second book, 4.75 stars. It was amazing. I loved it. And now this one, As Good as Dead, last book in the series, is a 5 stars. I highly recommend you read it. You will not be disappointed. But that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give this a big thumbs up. Let me know other reading vlogs you all want to see in the comments, bookish content you all want to see, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.